USW Local 71. Powering the region because we are the region.
AM 1230, WJOB 104.7 FM. Are we on YouTube now?
Yes, we are.
You realize that there have been moments in the past when I have picked up a computer and thrown it against the wall.
Were you close today?
I think I did that twice in the 22 years that we've been here. One of them's scared Erin Whalen so much that she went and got a job for CBS, and she's like a huge account exec there now. But I am.
So what was the fix, Adriana?
So because of – also, you guys are really quiet. Maybe that's just my ears. The fix of it was that there was nothing – it was first a connection issue at the beginning, and then we had to restart 2 of our programs. So not only on YouTube but also through our streaming. The links were all in there and everything. You just had to switch over in production truck and like reboot our thing.
So I had to restart the computer and restart
No, you had to restart Huddle. So you had to exit out of the WJLB network, go to a different one, go back in the WJLB network and start it.
Yeah, I would have figured that out about 8 o'clock tonight.
That's
so
okay. Hey, I was just telling our YouTube peoples that just be patient. It's a new studio. There's going to be troubleshooting, like it or not. You guys can be patient, and that's about it. That's all.
So we're on there now, and I appreciate it. But I was very close, literally, to grabbing that streaming computer and going out front and throwing it up against the wall.
Well, I would say that you owe me a new MacBook, but I destroyed my MacBook here because in that other room there was no desk. So I'm holding my computer on my lap, and the day that Josh comes in, I kind of close my computer over, and I have my pen and I think my glasses in the middle. So I destroyed my screen. So it's like over a $600 fix that I might as well just get a new one. But my whole Mac is destroyed.
All right, so
now,
here's the deal. I'm going to go through the sectional basketball starts tonight.
First we got to do traffic and weather.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But I want you to understand that we are sending out – we have 4 Mac laptops now, and we had to buy 2 new ones. So as soon as basketball's over, we could give you one.
I'm just teasing. We have laptops at home. I could just use another one. But I loved my Mac.
I really like being this close to you. I get an understanding of the body machinations and what's going on rather than me sitting over in that production booth. Adriana, I'm just going to tell you, now that this has all changed, I hate to say this. I know you're in school.
Oh, I don't care.
You got to come in at 6.
That's fine.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm not going to.
I was already up at 6 because I was like, okay, let's make sure we get you on.
No, I'm just done. I mean, every time I see Chuck Pullen come in here and work for 3 hours, I know it's not going to work. All right. Anyways, let's take a look at traffic. 294 around the city looks pretty good. 80 going east and west looks good. Bishop Ford into Dan Ryan. It's getting pretty bad up the gut of the Southland. Skyway Toll Road, Borman, I-65, those are all moving along well. There's only one route right now. That's the Bishop Ford to the Dan Ryan. It's bad at the merge from the backside of the Steel Bridge up to 76. It opens up a little bit on the Dan Ryan, then it starts getting bad 43rd on in. With the weather, Adriana Alvarez.
So currently right now at the Check and Van Til Studios, it is 33 degrees. Today we are seeing highs of 40 degrees, lows of 31, but currently right now it feels like around 25. So we're going to have cloudy conditions that will continue all day, and the lowest feel of the temperature will be around 24 degrees. Moving forward into the rest of the week, on Wednesday we're seeing highs of 45 degrees, lows of 31 with 50% chance of rain. And on Thursday, highs of 48, lows of 39 with more chances of rain. So we're just going to have a rainy week, and we will clear up just a little bit Sunday and Monday, but then the rest of the week is going to continue with rain and thunderstorms.
We're going to be at 2 sites today. We're going to be at Hanover Central, and we're going to be at Chesterton. You got some amazing games. One's at 6:30 and one's at 7. They're boys basketball sectionals. If you just want to get in there and throw a few $100 at it or something, any money that comes in now just goes straight to the crew. We're pretty well sold on this thing, and I appreciate the many sponsors of this. But at 6:30 on Heartland Sports Network, it's gonna. Who's breathing? Is that you?
I'm alive.
Yeah, well, at least that's how we know we're alive. Who's breathing is a crazy question. Who dare put air into their lungs?
I am so mad at YouTube.
He can't stand breathing, but he can eat over the mic, right?
I literally, we moved here to this beautiful studio, and all I wanted to do was radio, and that was it. So does Verley, and then there's all these things.
It was just 2 buttons. That was all that it was, but I understand the frustration.
Yeah, there you go. So anyways, today at 6:30, it's going to be Hanover Central and Ileana Christian. That is a rivalry game, and that will be a very good game. And I believe that, let me see who the announcers are on that. That is a guy named Oppenheim and Dan Repe. And then you go over to Chesterton, where we will also be. It'll be Portage versus Chesterton, and that is at 7 o'clock, and that'll be tonight. And then tomorrow, we're at Friday, we're at Hanover, Boone Grove, and at Westside. And then on Saturday, it's Westside, Boone Grove, and Hanover Central. So tonight we're out at Chesterton. Chesterton is a really good basketball team, and I don't know how the games will be on Friday and Saturday there. So they're moving to Hanover, Boone Grove, and Westside on Friday and Saturday. But tonight, great games at 6:30 and 7. Please go over and download it might be Jed TV, it might be Heartland Sports Network, depending on what service you have. They're all switching over to Heartland Sports. Or you can watch the game at heartlandsportsnet.com. But you got really good high school basketball tonight. What do you want to do?
Do we have callers waiting?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Let's take the calls.
All right.
And can you
Breathe?
stop
Can
breathing?
I not breathing? I have. Okay. I can't breathe, folks.
I'm
Okay.
kidding. I was just joking.
Let me hold my breath.
Here I am, Mr. Technology. I couldn't even get us on YouTube this morning. Hey, you're on the air. What's going on WJOB? What's happening?
Hey, if Chuck Pullen's messing around with the tech on your end, you almost wonder if he's messing around with the tech on that new extension of the South Shore Line. You wonder about that.
That's pretty good there, Dave. What's happening with that? Do you know? Anybody know?
I thought that they were supposed to launch it in the next month or two, the new South Shore station. I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
I kind of. Yeah, I've kind of been seeing it's kind of been imminent, but it's kind of like it seems like it hasn't come through as of yet. So it's like, yeah, you kind of wonder if Chuck's pulling all the stops trying to keep on sabotaging it. You know?
It's odd that you mention that.
And I say that partially in jest, but after what you went through this morning, it's like you never know. You know?
Thanks for adding to bringing it up again.
And
Dave, go ahead. What's on your mind?
Speaking of my thoughts on this whole Iran thing, I probably think that if John McCain was president and he would have invaded Iran, he probably would have gotten a bit more rope than Trump does.
That's a good point.
A former senator, now deceased, from Arizona.
Governor Mike Braun praises Trump's war with Iran, calling it decisive leadership. And the U.S.-Israeli airstrikes.
Yeah, I think the Democrats would be inclined to give John McCain more rope on wars than Trump, though, just because it's been reported that Trump was a draft dodger back in the day.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, David. Hey, wait, Dave. Listen.
Oh.
Purdue is playing at Northwestern on Wednesday night late. It's the late game. And you're not going, are you? Isn't that right by your house?
It's over by my apartment these days. Yeah, I'm. Kind of. Wasn't planning on it, admittedly.
But anyways, I just bring it up.
Somebody gets me a ticket to it in the next day or two, but then all bets are off. But
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot. Talk to you. Purdue's at Northwestern here.
by the way,
Go ahead. We
I
lost
just
him.
dropped him. I just feel bad, Dave.
And my
Feel bad,
nephew
Jim.
is one of the coaches for Northwestern.
Your nephew is?
Yes, he's the assistant coach.
What's his name?
Shane Southwell.
Shane Southwell is your nephew?
Yes, he is.
On yours or Mike's side?
Well, we're all one side, but Schaefer, his brother Schaefer, that's his son-in-law. He's married to my niece Faith.
What's his name?
Shane Southwell.
Shane Southwell is your nephew?
Yes, it is.
The Kansas State guy?
Yep.
Yeah, he is up and coming,
Yes,
being
he is.
looked at to be a head coach.
Yes.
I think the next step, I mean, what is he? He's like 32 years old or something like that. He is one of the top prospects. He and a guy named P.J. Thompson for Purdue are kind of in the wings for some of these big jobs.
Yeah.
Really, I want to interview him. Do you mind?
Not at all.
I mean, he was the bomb at Kansas State.
Yes.
That was a long time ago, though. Hey, 219-845-1100. Hey, you're on the air. What's going on the voice and face of the region? What's happening?
Good morning, Burley. Good morning, Judd.
Good morning.
You're having a Manny Moda. Good morning. You're having a Manny Moda morning.
The radio's fine. It's all that matters. So go ahead. What's up?
Absolutely. Well, I wanted to come across from, and you know, I back in the day we sparred back and forth. I became an independent probably 30 years ago, and I was a pro guy. And let me give you a perspective from this point of view. Several weeks ago, one of my cousins was a CIC commander on the CVN 72, the Lincoln, when it was first commissioned. He said just to put the carrier battle groups out there per day. This is from a Doge point of view. Maybe we need to bring Doge back. $40 million a day. Do I need to say this slower so it'll sink into the head of some of these people? $40 million a day, and that's even before they start conducting any type of combat situations. And not to mention, thankfully, our pilots are good. There's about $100 million per F-15 that went down. Now you have the collateral damage of our fellow soldiers. And what scares me is hostage. We're going to look at some hostage situations coming up in the future.
Right. They're telling people to get out, but they can't go anywhere. Most of the flights have been canceled.
The only country that are taking care of their own is the UK. The UK they have a plan, and they're getting their people out.
They always have.
Hey, did you ever listen to my podcast with the cow guy? I don't have it today, Adriana. By the way,
no.
it's he's giving speeches. He's getting like massive amounts for his speeches, and he chose Adriana to produce his podcast.
It's wonderful.
But he
Smart
talks.
man.
He lived in England for a long time, and he talks about their healthcare system, how great it is.
Universal health care.
It is when you are getting older. They know how to take care of you when you're old and all that. But if you break your ankle, it could be like 3 weeks before you could get in to see someone to set it.
Well, that's not. I don't know. I've spent a lot of time in Great Britain myself, and I've actually had to take somebody to the hospital, a U.S. citizen that got sick once we got to London, and they have triage. You go in, they talk to you, figure out, where to put you in line to see a doctor. He saw a doctor. They took care of him, never got a bill, and I'm sure if his ankle was broken, it would have been repaired right then and there. So I don't know who waited 2 weeks or a week to get their ankle set.
Hey, so why do you say the UK is looking out for their people?
They have a plan. They're already getting their people out.
Harold, Verley, you know this.
They're military.
I spent 9/11 in the UK. That's where we landed on 9/11.
Here's what I don't understand. Like, aren't we taking people home from 14 different countries right now? Isn't it? I mean, we're calling
We got
them back.
people all over the world.
I know, but
yeah,
we're calling
US
them back.
embassies, yeah.
I mean, why don't we
And
do that before we bombed them?
Because then it would have gotten out that we were going to bomb them. The element of surprise would have been gone. They may not have been able to kill or murder the supreme leader.
Yeah, you know what? You got a good point. Hey, thanks for the phone call, man. Good hearing from you.
Yes.
Hey, we are now on YouTube, 219-845-1100. Verley,
So you're giving me, what does that mean behind your head?
I don't know.
Bunny ears. You never done that as a kid? Take a
Bunny, but
picture?
what does bunny ears mean?
It's just like to tease somebody.
Okay.
Like if you're taking a family photo and you and your like sibling or your cousin just like ruin a good photo, what you doing? The little heart.
Heart.
Hey, we got a little time we can talk right now.
Okay.
What do you want to talk about?
Oh, we could talk about. So what happened last week after we did the show and we talked about the stadium? I heard there was like this huge fallout from the whiny Mayor Hammond regarding things that were said on the air about the stadium, about the Bears coming to Hammond. And I just couldn't understand what it was all about. The man has no problem bashing other ideas that other communities have, but when someone talks about the pros and cons of something he wants, all of a sudden he throws a little fit. And I heard like the bombs came out, the cursing bombs. People are saying this to me. I didn't hear it. So I don't know. I thought that he was happy with his podcast and didn't bother with JOB on Tuesdays.
All right, so with all due respect, you know what you said, right?
What did I say?
You said, I asked you, hey, what do you think about, the stadium, right? And you, first of all, Michelle couldn't have been more negative about the whole thing, right? And then you said, well, the Bears basically didn't want to use Gary as a pawn, but they didn't mind setting up McDermott to be the pawn. Do you realize how deep? You realize how deep of a criticism that is? I mean, I'm just trying to facilitate the discussion, and then of course, I got MF'd on the.
See, you
Mayor's.
did too. See that?
So,
those are classic examples of why people talk about him the way they do. First of all, he has no filter. He has no self-control. He whines when it's not his way. He doesn't have any problem putting down other communities and sharing his opinion. But when someone shares their opinion regarding something he wants, he throws a tantrum.
So there's one strain in this that is evident. Okay, whether the Bears come here or not, we have shined a light that Northwest Indiana is possible for this kind of thing, at least, and specifically about sports, okay? There's another part to that. I've been going to Indy, as you well know, and we're part of the Indiana Sports HQ collective because we just don't have the infrastructure up here to foster sports technology companies, and they do there, and they want to put a ton of money into it. And they want to make Indiana the place where sports technology is the number one place in America, okay? So I went down there, went to the NFL Combine last Thursday, and then I went to the meeting because now that we're in the collective, I should, they invite you, they kind of expect you to come. So right across the hall, I'm like, what's that? I go, well, it's the Indiana Sports Corp. Do you know what that is?
No.
That's the organization that was started, I think, in like 1979 to bring sports events to the middle of the state of Indiana.
Right, like bring the Big Ten in,
all that stuff.
Right, yeah.
They have been massively successful in doing that with Indianapolis.
Most definitely.
And then all it made me think is, why in the hell don't we have that here?
Because we're not Indianapolis. There's a big difference in the draw to Indianapolis than the draw to Northwest Indiana.
Our location is better
Than Indianapolis?
Yes.
How so?
We're on the I think it's 8.25 million people in the Chicago metro area. We're in it. We're on the corner of it. We have lower taxes. We have plenty of athletic facilities.
We don't have lower taxes in Indianapolis.
Not than Indianapolis,
Right.
lower taxes than Illinois. So we are more in the middle of a lot of stuff than Indianapolis. It used to be called Indiana No Place. But they put together this sports corp, and I'm looking at it, and then I talked to one of the guys who works there. I go, well, what do you guys do, and how does this work? And, well, it was an initiative, and it was a focus. We brought a lot of different groups together, and we put a big emphasis on sports. And who is our spokesperson but the SSCVA, which is embroiled in, it's got, they're doing the best they can, but there isn't.
Phil has been getting a lot of interviews regarding the Bears, and he's doing a great job representing the region.
But he's representing what?
Well, he's representing tourism. And so if anyone needs to be out in front, it's definitely him over McDermott.
So in Indianapolis, they have a huge tourism thing. I had lunch with the guy, or I had dinner with him. Actually, I had dinner with him and Phil, okay? And it was, I learned a lot, and I'm trying to figure out what in the hell are they doing right that we're not doing here. And they have a Convention and Visitors Authority. We have a Convention and Visitors Authority. They're supposed to put, what did Spiros Spatastatos used to say? Heads in beds and butts in seats and stuff like that. What we don't
need to bring
have.
Spiros on so he could talk about the first time the Bears wanted to come.
So what we don't have is what they have in Indianapolis, which is specifically an Indiana Sports Corp.
What we don't have that Indianapolis has is they have the JW Marriott. They have the Hyatt. They have the Hilton. They have the Westin. They have the Indiana. They have Society. They have the Capitol. They have people coming from all over the country and all over the world to Indianapolis. So they have a huge draw going to the capital of the state of Indiana versus Northwest Indiana. Now, granted, we are part of the metropolitan district, so that is included into Chicago, and I'm definitely for Northwest Indiana being utilized more in regards to things that happen in Chicago. So that's why I'm supportive of the convention center. I'm supportive of the Bears coming to Indiana until it got Hammond instead of Gary. So that's just how I feel.
I mean, but what it really showed, and I told you, I go, the Bears are looking at here, and they're going to see Mayor Eddie Melton and see the sights there, and they're going to see Mayor Tom McDermott. And I'm like, all that's going to happen is people are going to start, squabbling. Even if, we're all squabbling together in terms of sports, right? So you have Eddie Melton and Tom McDermott. You know that each one wants to do it to their way, and they're not going to work together. They're just not, okay?
But the mayor of Gary was actually supportive. The mayor of East Chicago was supportive. They both sent congratulations to the mayor of Hammond. So
stop.
neither one of them has squabbled with McDermott.
So my point is just in terms of sports.
I don't represent the mayor of Gary. I am my own person.
I know that.
Right. So anything that I say is based on my feelings, not what Mayor Eddie Melton thinks.
So my point is, in terms of sports, in Indianapolis, they learned that this is its own niche, and someone needs to take the lead, and the Indiana Sports Corp has that authority to deal with it.
Yes.
And that's it.
Marion County, Indianapolis, one entire community that came together, Unigov, and that is Indianapolis, Marion County. Lake County, how many entities that all represent their own community with their own fire departments, their own police departments, their own city councils, their own mayors and town councils, and they do not all agree about the same thing or want the same thing. They don't want to be part of North Lake County. They don't want to be part of South Lake County. So it's a whole different thing when you talk about Lake County versus Marion County or even Fort Wayne, Allen County. Those different communities are more cohesive than Lake County is.
So,
And
all right.
so
Jim,
I'm
so
going to
Jim-
screenshot that, and that's going to go on our
So,
Instagram. Listen on
Jim
Tuesday
gets this up
mornings.
close and personal. So I got to share. I had this email the other day. So my husband has this thing now because all these men.
Is it an IU thing?
So
I don't
wait,
want to
no,
hear.
it's not an IU thing. I went to this event. I'm not even going to say what day. And the person sent me an email and said, it was great to see you the other night. I do miss the gentle way you kept me grounded. We shared on a board together. We sat on a board together and in line. He said, I hope it's okay, but I just have to say honestly, you are beautiful. Am I in trouble for saying that? So my husband has this thing now. All these guys are coming up to him saying, how's my sweetheart? How's my girl? How's my Burley? You know?
Oh,
and
no.
so he's got this thing. He's like, well, I saw another one of your boyfriends today.
So how does he deal with it when I say you're pretty?
See, Mike?
See? I asked you permission years ago, maybe 10 years ago. I'm saying, hey, you know, Verley, you know, can I say you look good today and that you look really pretty? And and you're like, sure, I want to hear it. So I've never
thank you for the
hesitated.
compliment.
But
No, but I'm just teasing.
I
I'm
mentioned
just
it to
saying.
Suggs, and I'm like, hey, listen, you know, once in a while, I say, hey, Jed, you guys have been together for a long time. But that's not a natural thing. Some people will take offense to that.
Yeah.
They're objectifying women. And I get it. So I don't ever. Alexis is like, you can never say that. You know, you just don't say it. But I say it to you. And the guy asked in the email, like, you know, whatever, you know, you're really pretty and so forth. Hold on a second. Let's get a ruling.
Okay, so my ruling is that
Put the camera on you.
I know. It's
I'm
there.
still
Yeah.
mad at you, and I'm still
Oh,
mad at
no.
I'm
You
still
can't be
mad at
mad at
Chuck
her.
Pullen. I'm
See,
not
yeah.
mad at Lynette because nobody can get mad at her.
Yeah, that
but
is
I'm
true.
mad at you two because you guys. I came in here and the YouTube didn't work, and I never wanted in the
Well, no, the
beginning.
YouTube was working.
Now you
It
got
was just the
400.
audio.
Now you got 400 subscribers. We have to
know.
answer
wow.
to.
Yeah.
But anyways, go ahead.
The ruling on this is that there's no harm in providing a compliment, but when you go up to somebody's husband saying, "Oh, how's my girl? How's my sweetheart?" I'm like, okay, you're just asking to get punched in the face. That is my ruling. But when you say it in that like kind of demeanor a little bit, it depends on the tone of voice. But if you say it in like a slimy way, yeah, what you doing? What you doing over there, my guy? So it just depends on the
All right.
demeanor. But a compliment, it's not bad.
Oh wait, a compliment. All right,
Yeah, that's
so
not bad. That's fine.
So we go to a bar one time, and we're sitting there. And I think it was like it was somewhere other city, right? And we sit down, and we're just sitting there, and we get a drink, and the guy next to Alexis turns over and just starts talking to her and says, "Oh my gosh, you're really pretty," right? How do
He
you
was
think?
honest.
How do you think I handled that?
Honestly, I would think that you handled that as like, yeah, I know she is.
That's why I married her.
Yeah.
That's what you should
I
have
was
said.
like, you know, this is a little odd. I know where it was. It was New York City. And we're in this like basement bar. And it was raining out or something. I was like, let's duck in here. We were going to a show, blah, blah, blah. And he's talking for a little while. And then I realize, oh, okay. I don't have anything to worry about on this one.
Why? Because he was gay?
I'm like, yeah, that's pretty obvious. And then he, finally I get involved in a conversation, and he's like, you need to do this to her hair and this and that and all
So
that.
he's
I'm
a
like,
hairstylist, too.
yeah, he was a hairstylist. Like, what are you talking about? Anyways, at first when he said it, though, until I realized that he was gay
But
gay
would it have
could
made a
be.
difference if he wasn't?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of people coming up and basically,
See, I have a lot
Mac-
of male friends, and I have a lot of men who I deal with in different ways. And so it's like, to me, it's nothing. It's just
Life.
It's
the
just
world.
life, right? It's just life. It's my husband is who he is. I love him. There's no one else. But these are just friends, and
But there are women that would consider that kind of compliment, depending on how far it went, as some sort of harassment.
yeah.
Right? Wouldn't
Some
you
people
say? I mean,
would.
there's a
Some
lot of
people
people
would
in
be
your
so
age group.
traumatized by it. Some people would be.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just depending on what is said, the demeanor of it all. There is a lot of gray area in it. Yes,
Yeah.
I will say, but it's just depending on if you're being respectful or if you're being a creep.
Yeah.
And it's both ways. It's not just
Right.
men towards women; it's women towards men as well.
Exactly.
219-845-1100. We will take some phone calls right after this. I know you guys are waiting, but we need to take a short break. And then don't forget, we have Little Cal at 8:05. And then who else? 8:35, we have somebody. We have
I can look
Town of
right
Munster.
now. Yes,
Little
we do.
Cal and Town of Munster. So we'll do one more segment. If you got something you want to say, now's the time to do it on the voice and face of the region.
It's gold rush time at Albert's. Oh, looky here! Oh, those are gonna fetch a pretty penny.
Well, who's gonna buy them from us?
I'll buy that gold from you.
What did you say?
I said I'll buy that gold from you, and I'll give you top dollar.
That sounds great.
It's gold rush time. We will see you at Albert's.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
Are you searching for a college where you belong? Calumet College of St. Joseph wants to know you and give you the support you need to succeed. Are you worried about how you'll pay for your degree? 95% of our students receive financial aid, including scholarships and grants. Need some extra help with your classes? You'll benefit from our small class sizes, free tutoring, internship planning, faculty mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
everyone. You are listening to The Morning Show on WJOB 1230 AM, 104.7 FM in Hammond, Indiana. And you're also watching live here on YouTube. So we're going to do a quick weather update while we all get settled in, and then we'll get our traffic. So currently right now at the Track and Van Til Studios, it is 33 degrees. Today we are seeing highs of 41, lows of 33. Cloudy conditions will continue all day, and wind gusts are up to 10 miles per hour. On Wednesday, highs of 49, lows of 32. Some rainy weather throughout the rest of the day, kind of 50% chance on and off rain. Thursday, we are seeing highs of 51 degrees, lows of 24, with an 85% chance of rain throughout the region. And we're seeing we're dipping into those 60-degree temperatures throughout the weekend, but it is going to be raining just a little bit. So maybe it'll be a good time to open the windows a little bit, but we'll see from there. Do we have traffic?
294 around the city looks pretty good. 80 going east and west looks good. The Bishop Ford, though, into the Dan Ryan is pretty tough. Actually, from the backside of the Steel Bridge all the way to Jane Byrne, it's bad. Good day to take the train or to take the Skyway, which is wide open, or the Indiana Toll Road. Borman looks good, so does I-65. But, man, if you're going to Chicago up the gut of the Southland, you are in trouble. She's Verly Suggs. She's Adriana Alvarez, and I'm Jim Dedelow. And it's a Tuesday morning, March 3rd at 7:42. Don't forget tonight we're going to have you'll be able to listen. Joe Cimino is basically the remote producer of WJOB in the evening, so he'll probably be going back and forth between Hanover Central versus Ileana Christian. That's at Hanover. I may zip out to that game tonight at 6:30. And then maybe, just maybe, depending on how it's going, going over to Chesterton, where Portage versus Chesterton. This is sponsored by our many sponsors. You heard Alberts, you heard Local 7-1, you heard Strachan Van Til. They have made a commitment to high school sports on TV. It has kind of caught on here locally, but it is massive in other areas, and it will come here eventually in a big way. But if you're a business and you want to get on tonight, just for the sectionals and all that, just go to Sam at heartlandsportsnet.com. Now, if you want to watch it in your living room, you may have to, depending on what service you have, you may have to download the JED TV app. That will eventually switch over to the Heartland Sports Network app on all these services. We're rebranding, obviously, but a lot of you guys are going to want to watch the games tonight. Hanover Central versus Ileana from Hanover, and Portage versus Chesterton at Chesterton. And Hanover's at 6:30, and the Chesterton game is at 7 o'clock. You'll be able to hear kind of Cimino going back and forth to whatever the better game is on the radio, but if you want to watch either one of them, just go to Heartland Sportsnet on heartlandsportsnet.com. 219-845-1100. We'll take some phone calls. Verly and I are here talking in March of 2026. We went to war over the weekend, and there's a pal over the whole region and America right now as we're trying to digest it, and it's not a great time. But here we are, the bright spot on your radio dial, and the finally on YouTube. So let's take some phone calls. Hey, you're on the air. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm watching the televised CGI war going on, but I don't know what's more important, and I've been trying to figure it out. Is it that I am going to get justified that Indiana has adopted Bitcoin for public retirement funds, passing the House Bill 1042 last week? Or I would say this is a little bit happier news since the war is sort of depressing. A new study out of the University of Colorado, this is our ship, it's all come in, finds that middle-aged adults and older adults with a history of cannabis use, not abuse, especially in a moderate lifetime, it actually grows our brains, and we have better scores on memory, learning, processing, speed tests. It was published last year. It analyzed over 26,000 people and suggests that potential brain protective effects in aging. I mean, this justifies everyone that's been pushing marijuana as positive versus the alcoholics out there in the audience, don't you think?
So this study sounds interesting. What is the age of those individuals? This is from the 70s, late 60s, what?
Oh no, this is for over 40.
So I mean, when they started using
it,
it,
over 40.
So at what age did they start using it? That's what I'm curious about.
I haven't got into it, but it basically I wasn't focusing on the younger people. I was focusing on cannabis users over 40.
So
that's what the University of Colorado has.
Right,
That
but
they may have
but
bigger
Brad, what
brains
I'm trying to
in
find out.
related area.
What I'm trying to find out,
Yeah.
because you say middle-aged people now, what I'm trying to ask you is, are these people who have been smoking recently and over these years, or did they start back in the 60s and 70s, and this is the result today?
Well, I don't know
that's
if
a
it's
good
back
question.
in the 60s or 70s, but it's over a lifetime. So it's lifetime smokers.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were in the 11th grade popping out a Gavitt there and you're rolling up a joint on the side of the building, you were actually growing your brain versus having it shrink.
You know what? I saw a snippet of that on one of the new. So hold on a second.
Yeah.
Here's what I think could skew that kind of study. In that, yes, they're gonna test people who smoke weed, and they're gonna have better cognitives as they get older. Maybe it is something in the THC or in the CBD that protects the brain. But I think there's two aspects to it. That if you're a regular pot smoker, you're probably not a regular drinker. And so
Correct.
So maybe it isn't the weed, but the lack of
alcohol
alcohol that can push it. I'll never forget, I went to a doctor, and he's like, hey, your liver is, a little bit, it's seen some better days. You lived a pretty hard life. And the doctor looks at me and says, why don't you just start smoking weed instead of drinking?
Did you tell him you were already doing that?
I didn't.
Yeah, I was like,
What is wrong with you? You know what? I'm sitting
I
here.
mean, I hear you talk about wampum and all that stuff.
I'm just making jokes.
Burley.
But the doctor looked at me and I said, well, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, this was right when it was going to be legal in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, you just go across the border in about 3 months. You just be able to smoke all you want.
Wow.
That's what you need to be doing. And I'm like, really? I mean, that was what the doctor said.
I feel like this is when doctors were telling people, oh, yeah, you can smoke cigarettes. It's okay. It's healthy.
Mm-hmm. As their nurse went out to have a cigarette on her break.
So, Brad, what do you make of this?
Well, I think it's a great study, and the reason why is because I am an advocate of alcohol being pure poison. It is sugar and it is pure poison. And the problems that I have seen arise in my life personally from alcohol abuse and watching people's livers just be completely destroyed, the drunk driving, all kinds of problems, anxiety through the roof. I'm sorry. I just think it's time for people to either experiment with it or take away some of the taboo-ness of it. Because in reality, when we look at it, you had companies like DuPont, that this was all about hemp over time. This is all about the alcohol companies not having, and all the people that make a living off distributing alcohol to people and not having some bad conscience about the health effects.
See, I volunteer.
There's study that you have seen.
They can test me. They can test my brain. I don't smoke. I don't drink. And I don't have any stress or anxiety.
You want to go ahead and have an IQ test or something?
So they can test my brain and
and
see if it's atrophied or see what state my brain is in, because I don't do any of those vices.
All right. Hey, Brad, thanks for
then that's great.
Thank you for the phone call.
Go ahead.
All right. So
Sure, have a great day, guys.
yeah, you
Thank
too.
you, Brad.
Hey, Adriana,
Yes.
like when Brent Brazier comes in here, he talks about how people in Milwaukee will go into the bar and instead of getting a beer or getting a seltzer with alcohol in it, they will order one of these drinks with weed in it, right?
The THC drinks, yeah.
The THC drinks. He's like, you'd be surprised. Some of these dudes will take a 50 milligram one, down it, and then get another one. I'm like, man, you're messed up.
And then they get in the car?
No, they just walk over to the concert. He's right across
okay.
the street from the concert. But he's like, they'll nurse a drink that is weed for kind of like the whole night. And so it really cuts down on the sales. Now, these are expensive. I think they're $12-15 just for a little can of it. And they pour it on ice. But
yeah, what it does to you probably to them it's worth the $15.
No, but I mean that's a young
taxes.
people thing. I mean,
I see people drink it. Yeah. I've never been one to be like, yes, all the different drugs and all that. No, because I look at it as like, okay, if you're gonna smoke, you're gonna do the edibles, whatever floats your boat, and then now is becoming into a drink. I feel that, and I could be wrong, it's gonna go in your bloodstream a bit faster.
What happened to drug testing? Don't jobs still test people
There's
for
so
drugs
many
and
different
alcohol
ways
usage?
people get around it, and
how?
There's
some carry pee with them.
Yeah, so
well, that's
some do that,
illegal.
but then if they can't do that, they have different ways to flush it out of your system. So I know individuals that before like their job makes them take a drug test, or if they're going out into a job interview, they have these outlandish ways to make sure that they test clean.
I thought it was like in your hair, like it could do a sample of your
yeah,
hair.
Usually most jobs will just do the urine test, but others they'll go that extreme and they'll test your hair. Now they bank on just being the regular test, but then on other jobs you may not get that lucky. But there's so many different ways that people go to be able to do their substances.
What do you mean?
Like how? So like to flush it out of their system, they have to. How my friend was explaining it to me, because I was just like in awe of it. I'm like, what do you mean? How is that possible? And it's like you drink this and you have to eat this and then you have to drink this and it's a very like strict time constraints to be able to get everything out of your system, no matter how long you've been doing it.
But drug tests are random. They're supposed to be random, so you don't have a heads up, so you shouldn't be carrying extra pee with you.
Some people
and
do.
you don't have time to flush. You're supposed to just be taken from the workforce and sent to get a drug test.
So
that's how we do it.
There's some people that they're so creative though, like how in like the old Western movies they have the gun strapped to their leg. They'll have pee strapped to their leg.
Get out of here!
Yeah, they go insane ways to be able to do this.
So look at that situation, right? So you have a guy who smoked weed the night before, and now he's out on the job site, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's working right next to another working class person. And the guy went out and got hammered last night, and he still has a little bit of alcohol in his system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which one would you rather work next to?
Neither one. I don't want to smell alcohol in your breath if you're working, and I definitely don't want your eyes to be glassy.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously people need what you don't need, which is they want to go to another state, which alcohol allows you to do, which weed allows you to do. This is the one I don't understand is people taking psilocybin.
What is that?
Mushrooms or whatever.
Yeah, hallucinogenic.
They take a bunch of the hallucinogenics, and some people say that it calms them in a way and that it makes them work better, it makes them focus in more. And without that, they can't do the job that they need to do. So it's weird to say that people have gone through life like that at different areas. You're going to smell it on people, and if you don't smell it on people, you can just kind of tell by their demeanor. And then if they're not, then hey, good for you. You don't need a substance to work. But then also the drug testing for jobs, right? Well, in the state of Illinois, weed is legal.
It's still not for federal jobs. I mean, it might be
depending on
legal,
your job,
but it's still not federally legal.
So maybe that's why they become so lax on it, because yes, you could come back clean, but it may not be disqualifying you from that position. If anything, they'll just be like, okay, well, we found it in your system. We find it again, like you're done. And it just could be getting more lax on the rules because it's becoming legal.
So do a lot of people your age smoke weed?
Yeah.
Do they smoke it, or do they drink it, or do they eat it?
All of the above. They do all of it. Now, for me, because growing up, a lot of people in my family, they would smoke cigarettes, so I just hated the smell of it. So that made me hate the smell of weed and all those things. So I tell my parents, I'm like, aren't you glad I didn't raise pothead? Like, you're good. You can test me, I'm okay. And they were just like, yeah, no, you're fine. But my friends, the ones that they smoke, they'll smoke cigarettes, they'll smoke the the pens, the little boxes. They gave me a whole like
vapes
lesson
and
on this because I didn't know what these things were because I just didn't partake in
The
them.
pens?
Yeah, so
Those are those little vapes.
Yeah, I
things.
know what they are.
No,
but
those aren't vapes.
No?
There's vapes. There's the little box cartridges, and then there's a THC pen, and it's like glass, and you
THC.
can see it in there.
Really?
So my friends, like they
So it's
were
like a
just
pipe.
yeah, in a sense, yeah, and they respect my decision not to smoke because if they do, they go further away, and they're just like, okay, we're gonna go over here. So for instance, at different like bars or billiard places, you're able to smoke in Indiana. You're able to smoke in there. Now, if they're gonna go light a cigarette, they're gonna go on like the opposite side of the pool tables to make sure I don't smell it. And I'm like, I appreciate you. And they're just like, we're not gonna force you to have to smell it and everything. And if we smell too terrible, let us know. Like we will exit away. I'm just like, I appreciate that because there are some people that they won't be as
So
respectful.
you
like
said
that.
in Indiana?
Mm-hmm.
So they can smoke their marijuana in these places?
I don't think it's marijuana. Cigarettes
okay.
are more so what it is. But no, marijuana, you can smell it on anybody walking in.
It's everywhere,
Yeah.
man.
Right,
I
you
mean,
smell it
literally.
You smell it in restaurants. You smell it in
I went
stores.
into church
everywhere.
the other day.
No way.
Yep. I walked by
Get
some.
outta here.
And not only that, it was 6:30 mass in the morning.
Wow.
And I'm like, hey, man, you know, I went to Berkeley and I know some wake and bakers from way back, right? Are you got to go answer this? No, let them sit there, okay? I want to ask you a question, okay? This is on the
I'll go
same
get it.
long. No, just let them wait, okay? I like the thought. Oh, I got a ring so that we could watch them wait.
I know. I'm gonna set that up today.
Yeah. So I have a separate question. Just because her generation is foreign to me. And I'm guessing that, you know, I mean, I have nieces and nephews and so forth, and they just laugh at me when I use certain terms, you know.
Yeah.
But how do you meet people? Like of the other, or what, you know, whether you're same sex and
Online?
Are you?
Oh,
You're not
God,
going to let
that's-
Tom Washlinsky sit out there?
Regardless of how he feels about me, I'm not rude.
Are you kidding me? You know how he feels about you. No, how do you meet people?
So it's honestly, it's just friends of friends, and then those friends, like you go out with them. So usually we're all, depending on your friend group, you'll go out to Chicago, go out to the bars, to clubs, anything like that. Around here, it's just the local dive bars, the different billiards places. There's two. There's one in Griffith. There's one in like Hammond, Whiting area that's called Tom's. So you go to those places, or just the different events that are like within the region. Some people prefer the paint and sip. Some people enjoy the live local bands that play at the coffee shops. It's just all depending on what you like. But what it is really, at least for the people that I associate with, it's just if you meet people, it's friends of friends. You make new friends at the places that you go to. So I tell my friends, I was just like, okay, if we don't have a big group of people to go out, that's fine. We'll go out and make friends. Are we ever going to see them again? Maybe not. But hey, it could be your best friend for the next 20 years.
Do you pair up with some dude and go on dates?
Depending, yeah.
So, but I mean,
I have no social anxiety, so I'll just go up to people and be like, "Hi, nice to meet you." I'll be like, "Go make friends," and then from there, bring over my friends, and then we just all mingle and.
But she's an
become
extrovert.
friends.
She's
Yeah.
not an introvert. So
My friends that are introverts are
Yeah.
like absolutely terrified
you know what?
of that aspect.
Really, you'll understand this. When I was in the game, I didn't want a big group around me. You know what I mean? I just was like I was a lone hunter. I had the spear ready at all moments, right?
Well, I was the one that I dated a guy, and he barely made it a month. I dated a lot of guys, and when I was done, I was done. I moved on real quick.
Yeah, but I mean, how? So you don't? I mean, in your age group, you don't meet dates online.
That's
But
scary.
I mean,
that's scary.
Do some?
Yeah, I know there's some people that they have all of the dating apps, and there's now options on said dating apps to where if you want to actually like have the romantic relationships, or if you just want to make friends, meet new people, they have those options now. So it's not just like strictly for dating.
I'm so glad I'm not in that. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm glad I'm not dating.
A, I don't want to meet someone online, and B, I don't want to be in part of a big group and have to talk to people.
Yeah.
And
There's some people that
But
they
some
rather...
people are very successful meeting online.
They are.
I know quite a few that are gotten married from someone they met online.
And then also, it's also if you are depending on if you're in school, if you're in work, or whatever it may be. There's some people that they've met all of their friends in high school and in college, and those are the friends they keep for the rest of their lives. And there's other people that, depending on their job, they've met their friends through their workplace. So, for instance, a lot of my friends I've met from college and or from the workplace, and my brother, he's met them strictly through the workplace, and then some of them from, like, high school and all that. But it's like two totally separate worlds, and when those worlds kind of, like, cross ways, then it's like, oh, okay, like you can see the clear difference, but then you find your similarities in that aspect.
Right.
Hey,
well, our time has come to an end, and your next show is not happy that they had to wait, so we better go.
Like I don't care. What am I care? Oh, the only thing I care about is to make sure that we have two really good sectional basketball games on TV tonight. Do you know why my term came to an end here at WJOB?
Because you didn't care.
No, it is related to what Adriana's talking about, and that you're meeting people of the opposite sex at your workplace. Oh, there were I would say there were 5 women in my age group at the time.
And you went through all of them?
Finally, they called me in, and the guy's like, hey, dude, there's people, this woman's crying in the bathroom.
You created a hostile work environment.
Yes, I did. And
really
I didn't realize. I go, hey, man, it's just, I like to get out and have fun. And then Colby's like, hey, dude, just move on. We'll see if we can get you a job or something, but, you got to go. And that was why. Hey, we got absolutely nothing accomplished today other than we got the last hour on YouTube.
That's fine. You accomplished it on a radio show.
That is a big accomplishment in itself because...
Do you see these guys walking out here, how pissed they are? They had to wait outside?
No, they're not mad. I just waved at them. They're happy.
All right, well, let's make them wait even longer.
You're so mean.
They're not happy.
I'm mad at
I told them you'll be putting the ring in today.
And I'll be mad at Chuck Pullen for, A, making us go on YouTube, and then, B, it didn't work this morning for the first hour.
Being mad at people is not a
Not
value.
mad. I am just... Yeah. I just am irritated.
Just move on.
It's technology irritating you. The people here, we're good.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, thank you. It's been fun. Hey, Verly.
Do you notice that my chair is lower than yours?
We're getting new chairs.
Oh, okay, thank you.
She ordered a whole new... Oh, Jim, can I spend to get new chairs? Yeah, okay. Just don't let me see it, right? But we got brand new chairs.
I was very cost-friendly, I will say.
Hey, Tom.
Very cost-friendly.
What's up, man? How are you? What's happening? You're late. Hey, I want to tell you something before we go. And this is for Mike Suggs. You look really good today.
Thank you.
All right, guys. On the voice and face of the region. Till next time.
Before Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, we were being charged various maintenance fees and various check writing fees for all of our accounts. And with Notre Dame, we don't have that. We have that true community partnership. We get interest based on all of our parish and school accounts.